Hey everybody, this is Big Toad here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. All right, I want to look at this account review, account takeover that I was working on. I looked at it about a week ago and there were a lot of problems with it. This guy started his account. This was his first account ever. He played it for a while. He was really enjoying the game, and then he just got stuck and he couldn't progress anymore. And he began to realize that he'd made a lot of mistakes, worked himself into a corner, and felt like he could never crawl out. So he started another account. So he wanted me to take a look at this account, see if he could redeem it and get it back. So I already looked at it once and I gave him some instructions. But if you've been following my channel, you know that I did a video on the top 7 things that you need to do, that a new player needs to do with a new account, and that really anybody should do with a new account. And so I want to look at that top 7 and compare it to this account, because that's what I did with him, and he's already started working on it. First thing I said was Kale. Get your Kale and work on it. Get it to 6-star. Now, when I first looked at this account, his Kale was 4-star and hadn't been ascended at all. And so since then, he has gotten the Kale up to 5-star and fully ascended. Now he's just got to level up to 50. And then he's already got food sitting here to take it to 60. So there's a lot of progress there. And the reason this is important is because it helps you in so many things. When I went and looked at what he was farming with, see, the best place to farm is 12-3. And he's farming with Elhain. And she gets it done. She's not as fast. She can also be your lead in arenas and starting out, but she's not as good as Kale. She's not as good as Kale in Clan Boss. She's not as good as Kale in Spider or in any of the dungeons, but she's got value. Kale is just a better pick, and that's why I say do it. So when I went to look at it and looked at all the different options for Clan Boss teams, basically the best Clan Boss teams he had available to him based on the champions he had all included Kale. And if he wanted to maximize his damage with his current champions, Kale was the answer, not Elhain. So that was number one thing. Second, we looked at quests, and it's hard to tell if he was doing these all the time. He was spending his books if he got them pretty well. So maybe he was doing those. That's probably what he was focusing on. I didn't ask him, but that's important because you're going to get all these rewards if you do them. And to finish a month of quests, man, you get that legendary shard, and you're going to pick up this. You're going to pick up this void shard. That's valuable. So be working on these quests. They're going to help you progress in the game. Next thing though was challenges, and it's pretty obvious he hasn't been working on challenges. Now 5-7, he got stuck. No force champions at 6, and this is a level 54 account. And honestly, he should have had that challenge done by now. Now, this one, he could have had it done if he'd have focused on Kale first, I think. And we go to artifacts. He's still on 2.1 artifact. He's got 2 of 10. Look at this. Win 3 weapons from clearing stage 1 of Sewers or Arnak on normal. There's so much he's missed out on by not doing that. How many books has he missed out on? This definitely should be done. We should be way deeper into this by now. And he just didn't do it. So now he's going to go back and he's going to be clearing these lower stages, these lower, that just aren't going to provide him value. Now, if you do them right away, you're kind of focused in that area of the game anyway, when you first start the game. But now you're not. These are too easy for him. So he's not going to get any value out of doing it. He should have been working on these already. He'd probably be way further down the road here, if not done already. Now we go look at dungeons. He's done them all, which is good. But I don't think he really learned what he was supposed to learn. And that was the dungeons give you much better gear than you're going to get out of the campaigns. And if we go and we look at his gear, I mean, he still has, he still has green gear, 4-star green gear on people. And we see that all over the place. Now, when it comes to rings and necklaces and amulets, you're going to have some greens for a while. You just got to use what you got to use until you get better. But still, was he farming Spider enough? I don't know. See, like, this is supposed to be his main farmer and it's still wearing greens. So I don't see how he's really maximized his gear for his champions. I think he's missed the point that these dungeons are where you're going to get the best gear. And part of that is, which is not in my top 7, but to be aware of, events and tournaments. If you go out and you do these events and tournaments, you get valuable prizes. You get books, you see, for doing this tournament. You kind of watch them and you decide, is this worth it for me? So like the ice golem, would it have been worth it for him to have gone up and done these and got a chicken, that chest, and these tokens here and these gems and that? Of course, yeah. It's always, you never have enough books. This is, you should have done a few ice golems to get that. Did you have to win and get all these? Hey, it'd be great if you do, but go for the books. That's a hard book to get. You want to get those. And the same with champion training. You're going to be always training champions anyway. That's part of the game. So go up and get that book. So you look at the tournaments, look at the events, and see what value you can get out of them and get her done. Anyway, that's where our challenge is. Now you go to missions. It's another thing on my list. 25 lesser void potions. My level 41, that is barely over 3 weeks old. I have this one done. And I'm past it, working on way up in here. There's no reason these missions should be this far behind on this account. Those missions should be much further along. He should have already got this token. He should be working on getting this one, and he's not. And that's a shame. There's missed opportunities there. 3-star campaigns. Now he did do that. If you go out and look, he is farming Brutal 12-3 on Brutal Brimstone Path 3, and that is 3-starred all the way out. So that's good. So he did do that. He understood that. The reason we do 12-3 is because shields provide the most silver on average per item. Best return on for silver and the best return for experience, for the effort, and for the energy. Arenas. Now, how we know where we're at with arenas is we go here to the Great Hall. He's got 3, 3, 2, and 1. He scattered a couple around, and then he learned that he did need to focus here. So these were part of I think it's a quest or a mission. I can't remember which, quest or mission. These two were a mistake, not a big deal. It's only one, but at least he's focusing on the right place now. But I think he should be further along with these. And he didn't need to do this one. Just pick 3 and do them. Pick 3 and focus on them. And that's how you're going to get your most. You're going to get these 3 done for 1 each. Then you're going to hop over and start piling up on these. He's kind of along the right way. I think he should be farther. He probably wasn't doing enough arenas. And then clan boss. And that's the big problem. Clan boss, isn't it? I'll show you where he's at with clan boss. And he can hit Nightmare, but he's only doing 9.5 million with this team here. And that's not the best team he should be fielding. That's just what he's got available. Kale is going to get in there and do a lot better. And then, of course, when I talk about Kale and getting it ready to go, I'm also talking about getting masteries done. So he's got masteries there. He's got masteries there. He's got masteries there. He's got masteries there. Masteries there. Masteries there. Masteries there. So he's doing good on masteries. He's working on annex, but now we see some scattered ones, which is not really valuable. There's no value in those. So now if you got all these, use 4 of them and focus on 1. So he should be using 4 of these that are already fully mastered and be working on annex to get him all the way mastered. When you go out and you're farming in Minotaur, if only one of the champions needs masteries, they're going to get all the scrolls. That's why you would take 4. And so he's at least in a good shape where he can farm masteries well. But Kale is going to be our main clan boss damage. So that's a quick overview of this account. It's important you start out with the right focus. What I didn't tell you in that other video of the top 7 is the 8th one. To get clan boss, you got to get 60s. 60s are going to up your damage tremendously, because when you get 60s, you're going to be able to go out and you're going to either be able to get War Master, which produces for single target attacks a 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 10% of the target champion's max HP, or 4% of the target's max HP when attacking bosses. That's an extra 4% of the max HP damage against the clan boss. You want to get that. Unless you have a multi-hitter, and then he has a 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 7.5% of the target champion's max HP, or 3% of the target's match AP when attacking bosses. Bonus damage can occur on each hit of a skill, but does not count as an extra hit. So if you're a 3-hitter, bam, 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 you get a 30% chance each hit to get that bonus 3%. Is those two skills are what produces that big burst of damage to clan boss. And so when you have a full complement of 5 60s hitting clan boss, you're with these masteries on, you're going to do more damage, even without trying. That's why you want to get into 60. That's why step number 8 is get the right champions to level 60 to maximize your damage on clan boss so that you can get the rewards. And I've shown you these rewards, but let's look at them again. If you can get to Nightmare, the ultimate chest here, you got a chance at, look at these shards in these books. That's from hitting Ultimate Nightmare. You don't get that from Brutal. You're capped. See the epics. You don't get the legendary Nightmare. You don't get it on the second from the top chest. You've got to hit that top chest on Nightmare. Only chest that matters on Ultimate Nightmare is the top chest. So if you can't get the top chest on Ultimate Nightmare, make sure you get the top chest on Nightmare. But anyway, that's why you focus on things in the order I said. So number 8 is get the rest of yours to 60 so you can do number 7, which is the clan boss. That was a really quick overview of the top 7 things to look at on your account when you're first starting out. And you can see why it's important, because this account didn't do it and it got itself dug into a hole. And I think there's a lot of accounts out there that people just walked away from them. And some of them started another account and some of them just quit playing because they dug themselves in a hole and didn't know what to do. So anyway, this is Big Toad and I am out.